There is an island in the Bay of Bengal the size of Manhattan. The Indian Navy patrols it 24/7, not to keep the people in, but to keep you out, because the last time someone landed there, the tribe dragged his body across the beach. His remains are still there today. The government decided it was too dangerous to go get them. This is North Sentinel Island, home to a civilization that has existed for 60,000 years and has been killing anyone who approaches for over 150 of them. But here's the question nobody asks. What did we do to them first? 1880. A British naval officer named Maurice Vidal Portman arrives at North Sentinel with a large expedition. They land, find recently abandoned villages. The Sentinelese have vanished into the forest. They can see the British coming, and they disappear. After several days, Portman's team finds them. An elderly couple, 4 children. What he does next is one of the most casually evil things in colonial history. He kidnaps all 6, loads them onto his ship, takes them to Port Blair. In the interest of science, his report says. Within days, the elderly couple are dead. The island's people have spent 60,000 years isolated, 0 immunity to outside germs. The 4 children are sent back to North Sentinel with gifts. Portman records this with 0 remorse, retires with full honors. Now think about this from the Sentinelese perspective. Strangers arrived in large boats, walked into your home, stole your things, took 6 of your people. 2 came back dead, and the strangers left gifts. That is the foundational memory this island has of the outside world. Decade after decade, the outside world keeps trying. 1974. A National Geographic film crew attempts formal contact. They bring gifts, coconuts, pots, a live pig, a plastic doll. An arrow buries itself in the documentary director's thigh. The Sentinelese emerge, drag the gifts onto the beach, spear the pig, and bury it, along with the doll. That's how North Sentinel received National Geographic. 1981. A cargo ship called the Primrose runs aground on the reef. 28 sailors, stranded a few hundred meters offshore, watch as men appear on the beach, building boats, armed with spears. The captain radios for an emergency airdrop of firearms. They can't get through. A storm has made the sea impassable. The sailors fight off attacks using fire axes and a flare gun for over a week before a helicopter finally rescues them. The Primrose is left where it sank. And here's the detail that tells you exactly who the Sentinelese are. They strip the wreck for iron and hammer it into arrowheads. A civilization upgrading its weapons using the hull of the ship that tried to invade it. The wreck is still visible on Google Maps today. For 24 years, 1967 to 1991, an Indian anthropologist named Triloknath Pandit makes trip after trip to North Sentinel. Not to land, just to drop coconuts and iron in the shallows and leave. He gets shot at, gestured away, ignored. He keeps coming back, quietly, no agenda, no pressure, for 24 years. And then, on January 4th, 1991, the Sentinelese come out of the forest, without weapons. They swim out to the boat. They accept coconuts directly from the team's hands. One man gestures for them to come ashore. Pandit later says that they voluntarily came forward. It was unbelievable. They must have come to a decision that the time had come. 2 civilizations separated by 60,000 years, standing in shallow water, handing each other coconuts. The Indian government makes a few more visits, then stops in 1997. The reason? Look at what contact did to every other Andamanese tribe. The Great Andamanese, 5,000 people in 1879. A few dozen today. The Bow tribe, last member died in 2010. An entire language, gone. The Jarawa, who opened their borders in 1998. Within years, outsiders were stealing their food, smuggling in alcohol, exploiting their women. Contact doesn't just change a civilization, it can erase it. November 2018. A 26-year-old American named John Allen Chau pays fishermen $350 to take him to North Sentinel. In his diary, he calls the island Satan's last stronghold on Earth. His mission? To convert them to Christianity. Day 1. He paddles a kayak toward the beach alone, shouting, "My name is John. I love you, and Jesus loves you." The Sentinelese string their bows. He retreats. Day 2. He comes back. A young boy shoots an arrow that hits the Bible he's carrying. He retreats again, writes in his diary, "I think I could be more useful alive, but to you, God, I give all the glory of whatever happens." Day 3. He asks the fishermen to drop him off and drive away. They watch from a distance. When they return, the Sentinelese are dragging Chau's body across the beach. The Indian government tries to recover his body, sends helicopters. The Sentinelese shoot arrows at every single one. The recovery is eventually abandoned. John Allen Chau is buried on North Sentinel Island to this day. The Sentinelese are not primitive, not savage, not stuck in time. They made a choice. And look at every tribe around them that made the opposite choice. The Bow, extinct. The Great Andamanese, nearly gone. The Jarawa, exploited within a decade. The Sentinelese watched this happen to their neighbors, and they drew a line at the waterline. Maybe the most rational decision any civilization has ever made is to look at the modern world and say, no, not for us. The Indian Navy still patrols the exclusion zone. The Sentinelese are still there. And every arrow fired at every helicopter is the same message they've been sending since 1880. We remember what you did, and we're not letting you do it again.